and my actual eyesight. Is there the high drive? Deep center! Go! 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 We're out of here! We're out of here! Say ya, playa!
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood, Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! And this is it for good! The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four! A dog pile on their side!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.
Welcome to the only stadium in South Jersey that I know of that I have ever visited to sell Chick-fil-A sandwiches. We are here on a hot Thursday night from J.A. Lynch Field here in Gloucester City for a battle between a South Jersey team and a South Jersey team. It's the Lower Cape May Tigers and the Gloucester Lions right here on Thursday, September 5th. School is just getting started for most of these kids here on the field today, and for myself as well as a freshman at Rowan College of South Jersey, it's fun being able to balance community college and being able to still do my dream, which is broadcast esports to you, to your wonderful families here in South Jersey. Lower Cape May coming off of a surprising Week 0 performance versus Bridgeton, a final score of 12-3. Bridgeton's first program victory since November of 2020. And their first under their a litany of new staff members coming into this Bulldogs program. Hearing a lot of good things about the Bulldogs program this year, but Caper Tigers looking to rebound off of that in this Week 1 matchup on the road. Now, Gloucester is having both their Week 0 and Week 1 games right here in Gloucester City. They shut out Pennsville last week by a score of 14-0, and it's their second home game in a row to be held on a Thursday. They travel to PVI right down the road on Friday for their first traditional Friday Night Lights game of the year, and it'll be interesting to see how Gloucester adapts tonight, coming off of a Lower Cape May team that is hungry for revenge and a Gloucester team looking to reap the rewards of their hard work versus Pennsville last week. Now, we should note, as a discretion to all viewers at home, we only have Gloucester's full roster for this game. We only have a partial Lower Cape May roster based off of what we have on the internet, and even that only has 6 or 7 players. So we will try our best to identify players as best as we can. If you know of a source that has the full Lower Cape May roster, please let us know. But at this time, we're very limited on what we have on their roster, and we will try to report back the information that we have as best as possible. With that being said, Gloucester High School is taking the field. Lower Cape May took theirs a couple minutes ago. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back for the national anthem and kickoff and more here in the first game of a DWB quintuple header this weekend. We'll be right back.
anthem. Fans are reminded, in the event of an emergency or severe weather, please exit the stadium in an orderly fashion and return to your vehicles when the area is deemed safe to return.
All right, there you go. Wonderful national anthem and a wonderful showing of our colors here from the J.A. Lynch Field here in Gloucester City. This is Gloucester's 24th appearance on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, the second most behind my alma mater of Audubon, which had 135 across my 4 years of attending high school there, and Gloucester is right up there with them. Gloucester this year is in their second of 2 home games before going on a 2-game road trip next week. PVI on the 13th and September 21st, which is a Saturday, versus Willingboro. They are home for 3 straight games, giving them 5 total home games in the 2023 campaign, and 6 if you count that neutral site Thanksgiving game, which basically both teams are the home team, if you will. They're home versus Seneca, Shalleck, and Haddonfield, and they close the season with an away game at Pennsville, and then they come back at Gloucester Catholic, but Gloucester Catholic plays on the same field, so it's basically the same either way. Getting ready to go here from Gloucester for our second Thursday night feature of the year. Lower Cape May will kick off, Gloucester to receive. Again, like we said, we do not have a full Lower Cape May roster. We've got about 6 players. So when we get, or if we get that information available, we will send that over the airwaves as soon as possible for the convenience of all viewers at home. Gloucester back to return here. And 48 minutes of WJFL football right here on DWB from all the way down in Cape May County, with an hour-and-a-half drive right up here on the Garden State Parkway back up to J.A. Lynch Field. Here we go. Whistles are blowing. We're ready to go. Looks to his left, looks to his right. Number 26 sends this one away with a booming kick to the left side, but a little too much on it, and that's out of play at the 15. That'll start us off with a penalty flag on Lower Cape May for kicking out of bounds. The clock actually never got running because nobody touched it, so.
Number 7, Kevin Bolden, in the quarterback of Lions. Lions are coached by Mr. Ryan.
So Gloucester in a huddle after the kicking out of bounds penalty. This is the 3rd out of 4 games this year on DWB to start with a kicking out of bounds penalty. That's something. In the QB spot for Gloucester here, number 7, Kevin Bolden. And before we get a snap off, we've got an offsides penalty on LCMR. So not the best start for the Caper Tigers, as a kicking out of bounds penalty plus a 5-yard penalty for an offsides now brings them up to the 40 on 1st and 5. As we said, Lower Cape May coming off of a Week 0 loss to Bridgeton 12-3, their first win since November of 2020 in that program. In the shotgun, Bolden hands this one off to Mason Widman, who finds a gap, gets him about 10 yards up to the 50, and it's a first down for the Lions.
Ball's hand off to number 3, Mason Whitman. Number 5 and number 10 in the last option.
So first down for the Lions, and they will line up directly at midfield as the clock now once again runs at 11:50 and counting.
Yeah, I'm feeling everything. So I got to get back to that route. It's going to be about 3 months.
So Gloucester gets a new set of downs right away on a 10-yard rush by Mason Widman, who scored 3 touchdowns in his Week 1 game last year on DWB versus Buna in a 54-14 win. Widman again gets a handoff, and this time gets snuffed at the line of scrimmage. And he goes back to the 50 here. I mean, Gloucester, a very heavy rushing team. We've seen that a lot with them. And, of course, their new quarterback, Kevin Bolden, the freshman, class of 2028. You know, you like to see a little bit of a passing and rushing mix, but, you know, can't be beggars and choosers at the same time. And, you know, sometimes there's a situation where if you're just a rushing exclusive team and it works and it wins you ball games, why do you need to pass? It worked for Collingswood and Clayton last Friday as a handoff to number 6, Trevin Burkhart, the younger brother of Stephen Burkhart, the class of 2022, I believe, is over at Division II Kutztown University. He lit it up in his years in high school in Gloucester, and the Burkhart name is a household name here in Gloucester. You know, it's one of those things where this is a school and a community that is very family-based, and, you know, anytime you hear the name of a Zierfoss in town, you know exactly who that is and, you know, who they come from. Anytime you hear something like a Burkhart or a Widman or somebody like that, or a Wall, there's a lot of history here in Gloucester in the Holy City. 3rd and short, and Gloucester's going to get this one across for a first down. So another first down moves it across for the Lions, and they are now well into LCMR territory at the 39. Mason Widman, last week versus Pennsville, rushed for 122 yards and 17 rushes. They rushed for 275 yards in 2 touchdowns. Trevin Burkhart, the senior running back, class of 25, 13 rushes, 109 yards, and 1 touchdown. Burkhart and Widman both had 1. Kevin Bolden went 0 for 4 on passing, and maybe that's why they've been handing it off so much. Here comes the handoff to Widman, and they're going to get about 2 or 3 yards on that one, around the 37. And second down in mid-range here for the Lions. We've got a big-ticket matchup coming up in about 24 hours. The Camden Panthers and the Kingsway Dragons face off in what will probably be our biggest football match of the year, just in terms of prowess and name recognition. 6 o'clock from Kingsway Regional High School on Friday night, and then Saturday we start our 4-game partnership with Woodbury City High School. 10:30 a.m. between the Thundering Herd and the Haddonfield Bulldogs. Here comes a handoff to Bolden. Somebody lost a shoe. There's a flag on the play, and so is a shoe. Oh, that's a Lower Cape May player, number 5. Lost their, I just saw a shoe sitting on the ground. What was that thing that happened a couple years ago? There was a holding penalty, by the way, on Gloucester. Florida LSU. It was a Florida player chucked a shoe, something 25 yards down the field. The one thing I loved about that call from the referee was just the nonchalantness of it. We got a penalty, chucking the other player's shoe 20 yards down the field. And yeah, that was a rough year for Florida, and it just hasn't really recovered. But glad to see that here in the first week of September, it does not feel like Florida. 78 degrees here at kickoff time. Maybe a little hotter because this time of year in Gloucester, where the field is positioned, the camera is basically directly in the line of the sun. But as soon as it goes over the tree line, we should be fine. Here comes a handoff to Burkhart. Oh no, not Burkhart. Fooled us there. And after the holding call made it already a long distance to first down. It'll be 3rd and long, about 3rd and 15 from the 44. But as we said, DWB triple header this week. Lower Cape May and Gloucester tonight, Camden Kingsway Friday, and Haddonfield Woodbury on Saturday. Nothing scheduled for Thursday, September 12th, but if you're a football coach who wants to get on the board, let us know. Always trying to fill up those empty Thursday dates. Way back to pass. His 5th attempt is also no good, and that makes Bolden 0 for 5 as a career passer. And that will bring up 4th down and 14. I mean, that's one of those situations where even as a rush-heavy team, it makes sense to at least try it, to take something out of the bag. And if Bolden can be an efficient passer, that would help. And it will be able to get them, some extra yardage in that case, but just didn't get it. And what started out as a really promising drive ends up kind of falling flat. And Bolden will stay on the field as the quarterback and punter. Great boot there by Bolden. Not a fair catch call, but he's all the way back at the 10. He stays on his feet, number 12, and he gets wrestled down at his own 21. And Lower Cape May will start their possession here. 7:24 left in the first quarter. Speaking of Thursdays, there's a handful of them being played this year for Lower Cape May, including next week in their home opener versus Middle Township. That's 6 o'clock on Thursday, September 12th. The rest of their schedule, they've got back-to-back home games in weeks 2 and 3 versus Middle Township and Absegami. They're on the road at St. Joe's on the 27th. And then another 2-game homestand, Egg Harbor and Cedar Creek. They close out the season with Cumberland and Oakcrest on the 18th and 25th, respectively. Back in the shotgun, number 10 for Lower Cape May. High snap. Handoff is not going to go. Medler on the tackle there. Russell Medler, of course, a familiar name here in DWB. Won the Joe Lang Classic MVP back in 2023 when we covered that tournament, consisting of Gloucester, Pittman, Gateway. And I'm trying to figure out who the 4th team was. Glassboro, that's who it was. Couldn't remember, but quarterback for Lower Cape May is number 10, Ashton Ray. Ray hands it off. And a tackle by number 17, Harry Ulmer. Third and about 8 here for the Caper Tigers. Ray rolls out to the right side. Couldn't get past Trevin Burkhardt. This is going to be 3 and out for the Caper Tigers. This is Lower Cape May's DWB debut. They are the 81st high school in the state of New Jersey to make their first appearance. Camden is making its debut tomorrow. And this is Gloucester's 24th appearance, dating back to October 5th, 2021, our first ever DWB broadcast between Gloucester and Audubon Soccer, a game that ended 6-0, with Audubon scoring 2 goals in the first 45 seconds of the game. Back to punt. Number 2 pops this one up. This one's going to land right above midfield. It'll be fair caught by Trevin Burkhardt, and they'll take this one over at the 43. So Only took about 3 minutes for Lower Cape May to go 3 and out. I mean, that's a successful drive for the Lions defense. They didn't have to do too much with it. They just handed off the ball a couple times, and they were able to make it work. And the great thing about what Gloucester's able to do here is that, I think what makes them good is that, look, you've got Kevin Bolden, who's a freshman quarterback, but he's not playing like a freshman quarterback usually does. Freshman QBs are usually, in my experience, very jitterish, and you have to find a lot of composure and poise in a freshman quarterback, especially, when they're straight out of middle school and now they're starting for the varsity club. Bolden, his sixth attempted pass will be low, intended for Burkhart, just a little bit low, but a lot closer to his first completion. I mean, that's a thing where it's early in the season, and I think that Gloucester is trying to develop a bit more intensive of a pass game into their offense. I don't think they want to be a team that rushes the ball 99 out of 100 times, and you saw in that situation they tried to pass on 3rd and 14 and then they were unsuccessful, hence Bolden having to punt that ball away. So best thing you can do is honestly just pass when you can. Not every time, obviously, but Whitman's going to have some room here. He just got blocked by his own man, and he's got room. He'll be taken down around the 30, and that will be an easy first down and a big 30-yard gain for the Lions as they put themselves in good position once again here in this first quarter. By the way, a programming note for our viewers at home. Again, like we said, we do not have access to the full Lower Cape May roster. We've got about 8 or 9 players. That's about it, if that. But also, my good friend Chris Baker of D2 Sports Network will be calling the second and third quarters today. We're experimenting with something a little different, hanging in there for the first and fourth, and then he'll be there at the mic for the second and third quarter, so we hope you give him a warm welcome. He's called a couple of games for us, one in full back in May between Highland and Clearview Baseball in the South Jersey Group 4 playoffs. Here comes a rush by Whitman. This might get him into the end zone. He's going to stumble his way towards the goal line, and touchdown Lions. Gloucester gets on the board first with a 30-yard rush from Mason Whitman, who ends up cutting to the right. He stumbled a couple of times and kind of fell into the end zone almost by accident, driving in there, and the Lions lead 6-0. They will go for a PAT with number 16, sophomore Ashton Wall, on the kick. Kick is up from Ashton Wall, and it's a beaut. It's good, and it's 7-0 Gloucester as they get this one underway with their first touchdown of the game and a nice little cannon fire there over on the far sideline. With 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in the first quarter, it is Lower Cape May 0, Gloucester 7. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back. Welcome back here to J. Lynch Field. 4:22 left in the first quarter. Ashton Wall with the PAT and Mason Whitman with a 30-yard rushing touchdown to kick off the scoring here for the Lions. But Lower Cape May didn't have a lot of success in their first drive. I mean, it's one thing, Gloucester and Lower Cape May both failed on their first drives, but the thing that separated the two was that Gloucester got a couple of first downs, and they were well on their way, but just fell short when it mattered and couldn't execute. Lower Cape May, they just never really got anything started and went 3 and out. Here comes the return by number 8. He's got some room, and he'll be taken down at the 39, and the Caper Tigers take this one over. Hold on, we've got a flag here. Yeah, we do have flags on the field, and we have a very late flag coming in. It's going to be holding on the return team. Well, they had a good kickoff return at the 40, but that knocks them back a step. Obviously not what you were looking for in a drive where you've got to, get yourself locked in here early in this game and get yourself on the board. But we'll see what they can manage here after the holding call on the return. That will bring them back to the 20. As Caper Tigers enter their huddle, this broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Harper Driving School. Over 95% of students pass their Harper driving test on the first try. If you like those odds, book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman, right off of Lambs Road. 1st and 10 from Caper Tigers' own 20. They're going to pitch this one out to the right. Tripping and down for about 8 or 9 yards at the 28. John Pfeffer, the senior linebacker there on the tackle. The good thing about, having Kevin Bolden in this situation is that they don't even have him on the field right now. He's kind of wandering the sidelines, but, there's a whole bunch of Group 1 teams where the guy who's taking the snap also has to play both sides of the ball. And, Scott Lynch did that in Audubon a couple years ago. And there's a couple of guys, not necessarily every team, but there's definitely some guys we've seen for really small programs that don't even have enough players to fill up both sides of the ball. So it's nice to see, especially a freshman quarterback, gotta cool down those emotions. And not that he's doing anything wrong, but how about that? That's going to be a late flag coming in for the late tackle. Had a feeling that was coming in. Whistles were already blowing, and that was a very late tackle by Harry Ulmer. He did blow the whistle, that's the thing.
They have an extra whistle. He's calling.
Here in the broadcast booth, we heard the whistle clear as day, and that's going to be a personal foul against Gloucester for a late tackle. But the tackle by Ulmer is the one that got him in trouble. Rob Bryan, head coach and athletic director here at Gloucester, not pleased about it, and he's now airing his grievances. Maybe they didn't hear it, and you can disagree with me if you want. I heard the whistle, right? That was a very late tackle, and I would have been surprised if nothing was called. So, yeah, definitely some sort of miscommunication there. Maybe Ulmer didn't hear the whistle. High snap. They're going to go back to pass. Dumps this one off to the left, and nobody's there. Intended for number 8. A couple of guys got into each other there. So after getting a free first, it's now 2nd and 10 from their own 42, 43 right in the middle there. Actually at the 42. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. You're watching coverage of the Lower Cape May Tigers and the Gloucester Lions here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. All of our social media and information are available in the description of this YouTube video. Pitched out to the left. You want to talk about Rowdy? That's a Rowdy play right there. That'll get him up about 4 or 5 yards, and it'll get him a little bit closer to midfield at the 47. That'll be 3rd down for the Caper Tigers. Definitely think that in this situation, I think the Gloucester hasn't really caught up to that pitch play yet. They've had some plays where it's worked, but they've switched it out to different sides. They've pitched the ball to the right. They've quick pitched the ball to the left. And if you do that, it'll obviously be a short-timed affair, because by the 4th quarter, if you just quick pitch every play, obviously they're going to figure it out and they're going to devise a plan to take you down. But right now, that seems to be the one thing that the Caper Tigers have going for them right now are those successful quick pitches. Here comes a pass blocked by number 10, Jalil Banks, the senior. And that'll be another 4th down and mid-range. We'll see if they stay on the field. I think down by possession here. I think they should stay. 4th down and 5 for the Caper Tigers. First down marker is across the 50 at the 48. And they will take this one away. They actually will, they will send this one away. Hunter's back deep at the 35, number 2. Who's had a couple of carries tonight for the Caper Tigers. Back to punt, breaks through, almost got blocked. 28 almost got a hand on that for the Lions. This one's going to drop dead at the 30. And the Caper Tigers pick that up. Good defense there by Cole Little, the junior, to have a good opportunity there. So Gloucester takes it over. This broadcast is brought to you by Dog Wrestling, dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators. They're going to rock the Sacred Heart Church in 104 4th Street, Riverton. On Saturday, September 28th at 7:30 p.m. is the bell time. Admission is $20. You can check out current league champion Breaker Morant looking to defend his title, along with former WWE Tag Team Specialist Tank Toland. And along with that, a special appearance by former ECW original Jim Molyneux. All that and more with a whole slate of events. Check them out on their Twitter at Dog Wrestling. 7:30 p.m. Saturday, September 28th at the Sacred Heart Church in Riverton. Bolden takes a low snap, dumps this one off to Burkhart. Almost took a low hit there, and he gets tripped up at the 40. Be about 10 yards on that play, and it should be enough for a Lions first down. So Bolden completes his first career reception after 6 attempts. And Bolden's first completion of his high school career is enough for 9 yards, and it's 2nd and short. I mean, that's showing that his passing is progressing. I mean, he's had a couple close calls, but like I said, the fact that these guys, can pass if they choose, I think Gloucester can be dangerous if they can combine the running talents of Widman and Burkhart and everybody else that you have, along with some of the wideouts you have. Kadon Harris is out with a hand injury. He'll be back next week. There's a couple of players on this team that, I think could definitely benefit, especially some of the wideouts, like Keanu Ebanks and Jaden Tillman. You could see some guys that could really benefit from this team developing a more fluid passing game. And that, on 2nd and short, does get them first down. 1st and 10 from their own 47. But definitely, if Bolden can develop that pass as a freshman, and look, he's got a lot of time. 4 years to go. And we're just in the 2nd game of his varsity career, and he's already, on both sides, has been impressive. Another low snap, dumped off to the left. And that is chased out. Number 12 on the reception there for his 2nd career completion to Jaden Tillman. I mean, that's the whole philosophy. You don't have to do too much with it. Those simple screen passes right there got him 8 yards on the play. It's another option that you have at your disposal. And it doesn't have to be, same song, second verse. You can switch it up a little bit, and that's what these guys are looking to do here on 2nd and short, and what they've done on back-to-back first downs in this play with a screen pass to the left. Bolden once again back in the shotgun, again takes a low snap, this time hands it off to Widman. He gets through, trips over a guy down, and does get a Lions first down at the 39. So we'll see what they've got in the kitchen, but 1st and 10 from the 39, across to 50, with 40 seconds and counting. Here in the first quarter, don't forget my colleague Chris Baker will be taking over in the 2nd and 3rd quarters of tonight's game. Quick handoff to Widman, has some room, and gets that one up for about 10 yards, and this one will be another close call. That'll end the first quarter, so 7-0 Gloucester after 1. and they are in the midst of what has been a very proactive drive. We'll take a quick break, and we will switch positions here at the J.A. Lynch Field. Lions lead 7-0 after one.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
We're back here in the second quarter as I'm Chris Baker taking you through the ride here through the second quarter. And we have a flag here on the first play. We're going to have a false start on Gloucester there. Back them up to the 35-yard line. Making a 2nd and 6 now for the Lions. Like I said, I'm Chris Baker. I'll be taking you through tonight's ride through the second and third quarter. You might have heard me down at Battle at the Beach on the D2 Sports Network YouTube channel or the D2 Sports Network website. But today, in this rendition of Thursday Night Football, we have Gloucester and Lower Cape May, former division rivals back when I was playing for Gloucester in the 2018 and 2019 seasons. End up splitting that series, lost a heartbreaker here on homecoming in 2018. And then 2019, we got a revenge back there as the aforementioned Stephen Burkhardt had two picks that game for a 21-14 victories. Lions are going to set up shop here on the Lower Cape May 35. Bolden's going to hand it off to Whitman. Whitman's got some room up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, gets a couple of yards. Looks like it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 now for the Lions. Now, Coach Rob Bryan, playbook wide open here. We'll see where they choose to go with that. Bolden and company going to set up now with trips to his right side. A little bit of a semi-bunch formation as Burkhardt's going to come across the middle, take the handoff on the left side. Tackled in the backfield for a loss. That's number 3 for Lower Cape May on the tackle for a loss there. I'll bring up 4th and about medium now for the Lions. And Coach Rob Bryan will keep his offense on the field. Under 11 minutes now in the second quarter. And we'll see what Kevin Bolden projects out here to the offense. Bolden the shotgun. Woodman to his left. He's got trips to his right. Bolden going to drop back, looks to his right, rolls out, has a man Burkhardt getting upfield. Burkhardt looks like he may be short of the first down. Nope, they're going to give it to him. So a fresh set of downs now for Gloucester after the little swing pass from Kevin Bolden. Looks like the freshman may have possibly found a rhythm here after a couple swing passes and screens. And for the freshman, you definitely want to just get a few gimmies there and stretch out the field at that. As Burkhardt fights his way for the first down, and now it's 1st and 10 from the Lower Cape May 28-yard line. Hand off to Whitman. Whitman's got some room on the left side, but he is stuffed the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark his forward progress at. They're going to say he got about a yard on that. Give or take. So they're going to say he got a yard on that, so 2nd and 9 now for the Lions. Heavy formation now for the Lions. Bolden going to drop back, look to his right, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what the Whitehead has to say. False start again on Gloucester. That is the 2nd time this drive. The Lions have set themselves backwards with that. So now, 2nd and 14 coming up now for Gloucester after the false start penalty. So the Lions will try it again. Heavy formation yet again for the Lions. Bolden going to drop back, look to his right. He's got a man downfield. He's going to go downfield. He's got his man Kafigny. It is picked off in the end zone. The Caper Tigers come up with a huge pick there. Lower Cape May's number 4 with the pick there, as Bolden was looking for Kafigny downfield. And now the Caper Tigers will get set up on their own 20-yard line after the interception. So now Ray and company will set up at their own 20 after the huge interception there as the Lions were driving downfield. Bunch over to the quarterback's right side. Gonna fake the toss to the left. Got a shovel pass up the middle. And the pass is complete. Ashton Wall on the tackle. And the Caper Tigers will get about 4 yards on that play. So 2nd and 6 coming up now for Lower Cape May. Eight-minute mark now left in the 2nd quarter. Gloucester leads 7-0. Lower Cape May going to try and get something productive out of this drive after a couple punts early in the game. Ray going to roll to his right, has a man downfield. He overthrows him, incomplete. So 3rd and 6 now coming up for Lower Cape May. And fate looming large now for the Caper Tigers after the big interception. Third and 6 now for Lower Cape May. Motion across the field. Jet sweep taking the right side, number 8. He's got a room and it looks like they're going to give him the first down. So about a 6.5-yard gain there, just enough for a first down. And a new set of downs now coming up for Lower Cape May. So the Tigers will set up at their own 30 now to the first down. Semi-productive drive so far after the incompletion on the play beforehand. Ray going to toss to his left side. He's got room. Number 4 is going to get up the sideline, going to get dragged down. Number 17. That is Harry Ulmer on the tackle. Ulmer with the tackle, but not before the Caper Tigers do grab a first down. So the toss play, shovel pass, whatever you want to call it, working out now for Lower Cape May as they are driving downfield. Handoff up the middle, and he's going to dive back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to mark him a yard behind, so a loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and 11 is the official ruling on the marking. Actually, they're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10 now coming up for the Tigers. Now some more heavy now for the Caper Tigers of the wing now. Ray going to roll out to his right. Going to look for a man downfield. He's got one. It is caught, but there is a flag on the play, so this one might be coming back. So hold the phone, as this play might be coming back. You can see Big 77 there in disbelief. Illegal man downfield is the ruling. And a holding. So 2 penalties for the Caper Tigers. There's an illegal man downfield and a holding. We'll see which one Coach Rob Bryan chooses to accept here. So the illegal man downfield call will be declined, and Coach Bryan will accept the holding call instead. So pushing back an extra 10 yards. So 2nd and 20 now. 2nd and 20 now coming up for the Caper Tigers after the holding call ends up being the final decision made by Coach Bryan. So now let's see what Coach Lance Bailey and company have in store now, coming up with the 2nd and 20, staying with the same formation. Ray gonna fake the handoff. It is incomplete on the swing pass. So 3rd and 20 coming up now for Lower Cape May. The receiver had space up ahead, but couldn't come up with it. Maybe turned his head too early from the play. So now 3rd and very, very long now coming up for Lower Cape May. So 3rd and 20 coming up now. Lions looking, they might show some blitz here. Lions will indeed blitz. As Ray's going to keep it. He's going to slide for a few yard gain. Ray with this smart decision going to slide it. And a gain of about a yard. So 4th and 19 coming up, and here comes the punt unit for the Caper Tigers. So that is number 6, Trevin Burkhart, back deep for the Lions to receive the punt. Four minutes and 30 seconds counting. So the punt is just barely gotten off. And it is down at about the Lower Cape May 44-yard line. So a productive defensive drive there for the Lions, and they'll set up shop in Lower Cape May territory as Kevin Bolden and crew will try and get back on the scoreboard after a flamed out drive there. Looked like it was going to be productive, but an interception stalled out the offense. Bolden going to hand it off to the left side. Whitman's going to try and make a move, and it slips up and is stopped for a loss. So the rushing attempt goes backwards for the Lions. And now 2nd and about 14, give or take. 2nd and 14 now coming up for Gloucester. Bolden going to hand it off to Whitman again. Whitman's going to go up to the right sideline. Going to try and cut back and find some room. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Gains a couple of yards with it. It's now about a 3rd and about 8 after a gain of 6. Comes up now for the Lions. Got some out-of-town scores coming up now. Florence leads Riverside 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Gateway leads Haddon Township 6-0 at halftime. And that's it for South Jersey so far. 3rd and 8 coming up now. Motion. Bolden going to take it, drop back. Looks like a screen here to Burkhart. Burkhart gets up and snags it. Going to cut back inside, gains a couple of yards with it. So 4th and about 5, maybe 4. So a short play there for the Lions. So that brings up 4th and about 4. Almost reaching the 2-minute mark now, left in the first half. Bolden going to look to his right, going to swing it out short, and he's got his man Burkhart. Burkhart's going to race up the sideline, and they will mark him past the line of game. So give it a first down now for Gloucester. After that first down, this broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center, the number one shop to keep your pet happy and healthy with the most organic food products available in South Jersey, along with toys, cages, and accessories, and more. Visit 7 days a week at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon. Fresh set of downs now as the Lions keep the drive alive. Barely over 2 minutes left here in the first half. It looks like we're going to have a timeout from Lower Cape May. We'll be right back. We'll head a quick break here as the Lions and Caper Tigers head for a timeout. We are back here with barely over 2 minutes left here in the first half as sectional Crown head coach for Lower Cape May, the defensive coordinator, Billy Damiana, called timeout there for the Caper Tigers. Bolden going to hand it off up the middle to Whitman. Whitman tries to get a couple of yards there, and he does. They're going to give him a yard, so 2nd and 9 coming up now for Gloucester after the short gain by Whitman. So with under 2 minutes left now in the first half, interesting to see what route Coach Rob Bryan goes here with the offense. Bolden turns and hands off to Widman, tries to get up the left side. He's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage. We're going to say he got a yard, and Coach Rob Bryan will call timeout. As we'll head right back to break here after the Lions talk things over on offense. We'll be right back.
BB and Copsetta trading a couple looks. They know what's going on. Full count. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons in the Ralph Shaw Classic 26th annual. They are back on top for the first.
We are back from break here as the Gloucester Lions will be set up with a 3rd and 8 now in the Lower Cape May territory. Swing pass out to the outside is incomplete from Bolden to Burkhart. And here comes 4th down now for Coach Bryan's Lions. Fourth and 8 to be exact. After the incomplete swing pass from the little bubble screen to the outside to Burkhart. And the freshman kind of showing a little bit of some rookie first season
Into this one.
composure, looks to be on point. Bolden going to drop back and look deep to the sideline. He's got Coffigny down there. Coffigny out of reach of his man, Ryland Coffigny. So a turnover on downs for the Lions. And the Caper Tigers will take over on their own 31-yard line with barely over a minute left here in the first half. So now the Caper Tigers will set up shop on their own 31-yard line after the turnover on downs. Ray going to drop back. Here comes the screen. That is swatted down at the line of scrimmage. It's Jalil Banks there on the pass deflection there at the line of scrimmage. So the Lions sniff out the scrimmage and shut it down. Or sniff out the screen and shut it down, my apologies. 2nd and 10 now for the Caper Tigers. Ray going to roll to his right. He's got pressure on the backside from Banks. Banks going to get to him eventually, and the pass is cracked downfield. A huge gain there for the Tigers as number 11 is eventually dragged out of bounds. They're going to say his forward progress was stopped inbounds. The clock should be running after the ball gets set. But we may have some laundry on the field here as the referees are going to discuss a possible penalty, and we'll see what the White Hat says. An eligible man downfield, so after the big play They're going to walk this one all the way back here. And a huge blow there for Lower Cape May as the big play is negated due to an ineligible man downfield call. And the Caper Tigers will try and run things back here. Second and 10 coming up yet again for Lower Cape May. So second and 15 coming up for Lower Cape May. See Chain Gang finally gets set. 52 seconds left here in the second quarter. Imagine another shot downfield may come here. Another shovel pass at the line of scrimmage is going to be good for a few yard gain there. And timeout again for Coach Lance Bailey's Caper Tigers. We'll be right back here as Lower Cape May talks things over at the break.
And this is going to bring up Andrew Petrick, who has a single in this game. And here's a fly ball popped up right field side. And it's fair. It's fair. They're going to throw to second for try to get this play, the force out. They got him, but the game is tied. How about it for Woodstown? They complete the comeback to make it 8-8. So now there is one out after Kubat let it fall in right, and because the bases were loaded, you know what? That's a very smart play.
We're back from the timeout here as there's 38.7 seconds left in the second quarter. Third and about 11 coming up now for Lower Cape May. Ray gonna fake it, drop back. Looks for a man downfield. It's hit as he throws. It is caught downfield. Got his man number 11 again. Ashton Ray hit as he threw. Mason Whitman saves a touchdown there, as he was the last line of defense before the ball carrier broke free. And time running down now for Lower Cape May. Toss to the left side here, number 4. He's going to get stopped behind the line of scrimmage, so second and 11. And Coach Lance Bailey calls timeout yet again for Lower Cape May. And we will see what Coach Bailey and company discuss during the timeout, as we'll stay on the air. That last big play set up Lower Cape May for, it seems like the first or second time tonight in Gloucester territory, as Ray took a big hit as he let go of the ball and was placed perfectly in his man's hands downfield. So 14.9 seconds left here in the first half, as the Caper Tigers will discuss things and talk things over, coming up with a second and 10 out of the timeout. So we are back after the timeout, as Ray going to have nobody to his left or right besides a few wings, with trips to his right side. Ray looks for his man short. It is hauled in. No, it is caught. It is dropped, actually. So he passed. It ends up incomplete after the receiver can't come up with it. Juggled a couple times, but to no avail. 9.3 seconds left here in the first half. As the time winds down here in the first half, don't go anywhere as I will be back here for the third quarter before I hand it off to my great friend and boss for the night, Dan Wilkins, for the fourth quarter. My supervisor, Dan Wilkins.
Just for tonight.
Just for tonight only. Well, for now.
Great friend. I don't think you've ever called me that.
We'll discuss that off the air. But 9.3 seconds left here in the first half. As Ray's faced a 3rd and 10. He's going to drop back. He's going to face pressure from Banks. Going to look downfield. He's got a man. It's going to be picked off by Trevin Burkhart. Burkhart's going to cut back to the middle of the field. And he's tripped up with less than any time left. So the interception by Trevin Burkhart sets up the Lions with great momentum heading into the halftime. Gloucester leads Lower Cape May 7-0. We'll be back after the halftime break here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Late switch for the visitors. Again inside their 5. Oh, they're going to pitch this one back for the flea flicker touchdown, West! Oh my goodness! Taking inspiration from Nick Foles and Trey Burton. I think they just pulled off the Philly special. That is the greatest touchdown I have ever seen. Well, maybe not the greatest touchdown I've ever seen. Maybe that's stretching a little bit, but one of the greatest touchdowns we've seen in a long time. And it's a tie game.
All right, back here from Gloucester as Lower Cape May trails Lions 7-0 here in the Harper Driving School halftime show. Definitely a different game than I expected coming in, and with Lower Cape May taking a devastating loss to Bridgeton last week, like we said, Bridgeton had several losing winless seasons, and then they get their first of 2024. Lower Cape May obviously looking for a little bit of revenge, but they've been a little slow to start this first half. Your thoughts on the Caper Tigers' performance in the first 2 quarters?
I think that they've been a little bit slow. Obviously, 2 big plays, one called back by the penalty, one where they set up shop in Gloucester territory, but ran out of time there in the first half. I do think if they're able to open up the passing game a little bit more, maybe try and take some more shots downfield, because obviously you can tell the Gloucester linebackers are starting to get sucked in by the run, starting to fill their gap. I think that there's possibility that Lower Cape May be able to open up the playbook and open up the passing game a little bit more for themselves.
I mean, look, we're 6 quarters into the football season, and Gloucester is still not allowed to score. Not a safety, not a touchdown, not a field goal, nothing. They shut out Pennsville last week, a very respectable team, 14-0, and now they are halfway to shutting out another one in Lower Cape May in back-to-back home games. So, going to be very interesting to see what they've got. These guys are getting ready to go to kickoff, so we will take a quick break, and then you'll be back on for the next 12 minutes here in the third quarter.
We are back now from halftime as Ashton Wall on to send a kick back deep here to Lower Cape May to start the second half. Sun finally going down, so our view is a little bit better now. As Wall's kick is going to go back deep, going to be hauled in by number 4. He's going to have a crease up the middle, going to try and get the right sideline. Number 4's got a man, stiff arms a man, and is dragged down at about the Lower Cape May 40 or 41. We will see where he is marked. But the returnman for Lower Cape May did indeed have a possible crease there. And the Caper Tigers will set up at their own 41-yard line. Foul after a loss of momentum to end the first half on the Trevin Burkhart interception. Lower Cape May will take over at their own 41-yard line to start the second half with 11 minutes and 51 seconds left here in the third quarter. Motion over to the right side. Ray gonna shovel pass over again. He's dropped in the back by Trevin Burkhart. Trevin Burkhart showing off the speed and pursuit there from the outside linebacker position. And Burkhart showing off on both sides of the ball on offense and defense there. So back-to-back plays, Burkhart gets a tackle for a loss and an interception. And now the Caper Tigers with 2nd and long coming up now, as Coach Lance Bailey will send Ashton Ray to the huddle. And we will see what the Lower Cape May offense will come out with here. Ray going to roll to his left. Got pressure on the backside. Ray going to step up in the pocket. It's dropped by a swarm of Gloucester defenders. Trevin Burkhart in again on that tackle. So 3rd and about 12 now for Lower Cape May. Third and 12 now for the Caper Tigers, with barely over 10 minutes left now in the third quarter. Wildcat now here coming up for Lower Cape May. Running back takes a direct snap, going to roll to his right, going to look to pass. He's got pressure on the backside. He is going to be dropped for a sack on the play. Try to get a number there on the sack. So, number 28, Cole Little on the sack there. So 4th and about a mile now coming up for the Caper Tigers. And the punt unit will take the field as Trevor Burkhardt back deep to receive the punt after the Cole Little sack on the play. Punt gets off again. Burkhardt going to field it cleanly. Not cleanly, as the ball is loose there, and Lower Cape May hops on it. Burkhardt let the ball bounce off him on the fair catch. And Lower Cape May will take over in Gloucester territory. So a miscue there by Burkhardt results in a turnover. And Lower Cape May will take over in Gloucester territory on the Lions' 44-yard line. So almost pretty much a long Hail Mary pass of sort there for Lower Cape May after the punt bounced off of Trevin Burkhardt. So now here comes the Caper Tiger offense after they get the ball right back after the punt. Motion, going to be looks like a jet sweep here. This man's going to get outside. He's going to be, it's going to be good for about a 7-yard gain, maybe an 8-yard gain. So an 8-yard gain there on the jet sweep by the Caper Tigers. And Lower Cape May is rolling here now on offense. Ray going to take the snap, hand it off to his man up the middle, and he's going to be stuffed to the line of scrimmage. So a gain of about 1 on the play. They're going to give him a first down, actually. So a new set of downs now for Lower Cape May after the short rush by number 4. Yet again, like Dan said before, we do not have access to a Lower Cape May roster. Ray going to roll out to his right, going to shove it off to his man. He's going to get upfield. He's got room. He's going to truck a man over on the far sideline. And no huddle offense coming up now for the Caper Tigers as Coach Lance Bailey wants his guys to keep that momentum going. Ray going to shove it out to the left side again. He's got room. He's going to be tackled for a gain of maybe a half inch there. As there looks like there might be an injured Lion on the play. We will see. Possibly. We do have an injury timeout. So we will be taking a short break as the athletic training staff for the Lions will assess the injury. We'll be right back.
They were able to get out unscathed in the third, but now the fourth isn't looking so kind. There's a high drive, deep center, way back, and it is out of here! John Pelosi, 3-run home run! He's left the building to dead center! And John Perosi's blown this game wide open! Have yourself a celebration, Johnny! We'll lead it off for the Senators. Chase Rollins, the player manager for CHP, gets it started with a ball up.
We are back as that is Jalil Banks being helped off the field on the sideline. Good sign is he's walking off under his own power. So we will get things started again after the injury timeout as Lower Cape May will take over the 3rd and 4 on the Gloucester 26-yard line. This is the deepest they've been all day on offense in regards to field position. So 3rd and 4 now for Lower Cape May. Going to hand it off up the middle, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and driven back. And we'll see where they mark him. They're going to say he got a first down on that. So a fresh set of downs now, yet again for Lower Cape May. And the Caper Tigers are inching ever so close to the painted end zone. So here come the Caper Tigers with a new set of downs now. Ray with a trip set, looks like to his right. Here's a motion across the field. Here comes another jet sweep. And he's going to be met in the backfield, tackled for a loss. Big 65 Trevor Butler with the tackle for a loss. But here comes some late laundry on the play and an injury. So we will see what the flag is. So it looks like unsportsmanlike conduct against Gloucester. So that may be enough for a first down after the penalty, being that it is a dead ball. We'll see where they mark this off at here. So we have an injury timeout for Lower Cape May. And we'll be right back with the official ruling and markings.
Yeah.
As we will see exactly what the referees will say. So it'll be marked short of the first down, but what they tackle for a loss. So it looks like it'll be 2nd and about short via the chain gang on the field because it was a dead ball foul.
Tongue information in my ear. That's what it's freaking out. Just ignore me. I'm just fuck out.
See injured Caper Tiger still on the field. Looks like he will eventually be helped up and helped off under his own power. Looks like it was some cramps. Obviously, the first week or two of the season, week 0, week 1, week 2, for most teams, that's prime cramping territory for a lot of programs, regardless, no matter how much you preach as a coach, hydration, hydration, hydration. That's all on if the kids actually listen. So, we will get back in action here to the injury timeout. Lower Cape May will set up with a 2nd and 3 on the Gloucester 15-yard line, give or take. Looks like it will be the 15-yard line. And the Caper Tigers are rolling here on offense. Motion out here, looks like some kind of rocket motion. There's going to be a tackle for maybe a loss. It will be a tackle for a loss of about 1 or 2. So 3rd and 4, maybe 5 coming up now after the rushing attempt was stuffed by the Lion defense. So 3rd and 4 now coming up for Lower Cape May. Under 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Bunch over to Ray's left. Ray going to look right, flip it left, and he's going to get the completed pass for a gain of about a yard. So 4th and 3. Trevor Butler again with another stop for the Lions. So 4th down now for the Caper Tigers. This is possible make or break drive here for Lower Cape May. This has been their most productive drive all game so far. Ray going to roll to his left. Going to look downfield, has a man across the middle, and it's caught and completed. He's going to try and power for the first down, the touchdown, and he is going to be in the end zone. Touchdown, Lower Cape May. So the Caper Tigers finally get on the board, as that is the first points let up all season so far for Gloucester. And looks like the extra point unit will be on to kick the PAT. Extra point is up, and it is a laser right through the uprights. So we have a tie game now between Lower Cape May and Gloucester. 5 minutes and 17 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back after we have a quick break. So we are back now after the Lower Cape May touchdown. That is their first touchdown of the year, as they kicked an extra point, kicked a field goal against Bridgeton in the 12-3 loss last week. And now Trevor Burkhart and number 12 for Gloucester. Look at the roster real quick. As Jaden Tillman back to receive deep for the Lions. Kick over to Burkhart's side. He'll field it at about the 8-yard line. Burkhart going to try and look for a seam. Going to have a man upfield. Trucks his own man to a block, but is eventually tripped up. So now the Lions offense will retake the field here for the first time in the second half. almost a 7-minute drive there for Lower Cape May. Well, 2 drives for Lower Cape May, essentially. As the punt return was fumbled by Trevin Burkhart last time around. So now the Lower Cape May defense will take the field for the first time tonight. And here comes the Lions offense. Sorry, for the first time in the second half. Bolden going to hand off to Widman to the left side. Widman's got some room. Widman's got a couple blockers upfield. Widman's going to be maybe short. No, he does get the first down. So a gain of about 11, we'll call it. So a gain of 11 now for Mason Widman and the Lions. And that is one of the best drive starters they've had so far tonight. And we'll see if the Lions can keep it rolling here. Keeping the heavy, tight formation now. Well, high snap over Bolden's head. And it looks like Widman will fall on it for a long loss there. Miscommunication there by Widman in the center. Widman luckily falls on it for the Lions. That could have been bad there for Gloucester, as they would have given the ball right back deep in their own territory to Lower Cape May. So that'll bring up second and about a couple miles, maybe a country mile to go now. Second and 25 now for Gloucester. Motion to the left side. Here comes the man on the jet sweep. He's got a couple man. Tillman's going to cut back across the field. He's going to be swallowed up by number 77, the big fellow up front. So Tillman on the jet sweep gets a couple of yards there. So third and very long coming up now for the Lions. So we'll call it about a gain of about 5. So third and 20 coming up now for Gloucester. Bolden going to drop back. Looks to his left. He's got a man downfield. He's Coffigny up his face. Coffigny has it in. Coffigny makes a man miss. There goes Violet Coffigny. And he's going to be dropped at about the Lower Cape May 18-yard line. Bolden had his man, Violet Coffigny, wide open downfield, and a huge play there for the Lions. What a throw and catch from the freshman and sophomore duo there, Bolden to Coffigny. And now the Lions, with a huge momentum swing there, are going to set up shop deep in Lower Cape May territory. So now here comes the Lions offense after the huge play. Widman going to run to his right side, going to cut back across the middle, has a couple of blockers, but is going to be swallowed up after about a 4-yard gain. So Widman with a 4-yard run there. So 2nd and 6 coming up now for the Lions. Bolden going to hand it off to Widman on the draw. Right side, Widman's got some room. Widman's got a couple of blockers. He's tripped up short of the first down. So 3rd and 1 coming up now for Gloucester after a gain of about 5. We're going to have a injury timeout here. It looks like Mason Widman is the newest victim of the cramp bug going around today. So we'll take a quick short break here and stay on air as Widman will get his cramps assessed by the athletic training staff of Gloucester. So there's Caden Harris, one of the Lions that is dealing with an injury now. Could be a big piece coming up later in the season at the safety position last year. A couple interceptions for the Lions. So Woodman is up, and he'll walk this one off. Assumingly head to the trainer's table, get some water, gets maybe some mustard and pickle juice with it. Help out those cramps. On 3rd and 2 coming up now for the Lions after the Woodman run. So we'll see what Coach Bryan does here with this playbook, as the playbook is indeed wide. So fullback in now for the Lions is Bolden's under center. Bolden going to hand it off up the middle to Burkhart. Burkhart's going to cut back to the right side, cut back to the middle, chucks him in, and is in for the touchdown. Trevin Burkhart plunges in for the score from about 11 yards out, and the Lions are back in the driver's seat as they lead 13-7 now with 1:23 left in the 3rd quarter with the extra point pending for Gloucester. Burkhart, his 2nd score of the season, makes up for the snafu earlier on the punt return. And Ashton Wall on now to kick the extra point. Logan Stewart, the holder, will get things set up, and we're going to have a flag. We're going to have a full start on Gloucester, so back it up 5 yards on the extra point. I'm assuming a possible rookie mistake was made where they got set, put the hand down, picked it back up. That is a no-go. Once that hand is down, it cannot come up. So, Wall will try again from about 5 yards deeper now. So the Lions look to extend the lead here with this extra point. Wall's kick is up, and it is right down broad. So now the Lions take a 7-point lead with 1:21 left here in the 3rd quarter. And the Lion defense, after a much-needed breather, will make their way back on the field. So Ashton Wall will find his kicking tee and send this one back to Lower Cape May after the touchdown. Trevin Burkhart looking like his older brother right there, as his older brother prepares for his first game of his junior season, his redshirt sophomore season against Assumption tonight, as the Kutztown Bears look to get back to the Division II playoffs after a deep run last year, ended at the hands of Colorado School of Mining. So Wall and his coverage unit will send this one back deep here. Four and 28 back deep to receive the kickoff from the Lions. Ball falls over, and we will try this one again. One more time for a holder has to come in. Wall sends this one back. It is a short line drive kick. It is touched. The coverage unit will not get down there in time before it rolls out of bounds. But because it was touched inbounds, it will not be a penalty. So it'll be down exactly where it ran out of bounds. So now Lower Cape May will take over at their own 30-yard line with 1:21 left here in the 3rd quarter. Gloucester leads 14-7 after the Trevin Burkhart 11-yard touchdown plunge into the end zone. So now here comes the Lower Cape May offense, fresh off the scoring drive their last time around. Ray going to hand it off. Nope, screen across the middle. It is incomplete. There's a couple Gloucester defenders there to sniff that out. It's now 2nd and 10 coming up for Lower Cape May. Minute and 17 left here in the third quarter. After the incomplete screen attempt by Ray to his man downfield. Ray going to roll to his right. Going to get some pressure on his front side. He's going to man downfield again. That's number 8. He's going to break a tackle, try and cut back across the field, but it's swallowed up. So a chunk play there for Lower Cape May. Sets them up near midfield. As the Lower Cape May offense has possibly found a rhythm of their own as they get into a no-huddle offensive sort, the up-tempo offense. Ray shovel out to his left side. He's going to be across midfield, so a gain of about 4 on the play. So make that 2nd and 6 coming up now for Lower Cape May. As that is number 4 down yet again, as it looks like possible cramps. So with the injury timeout now on the field, the Lions and Caper Tigers training staffs will assess the injury. We'll be right back after this break.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
We are back after the injury timeout now as referees will get things set. We are back in play now as the clock will keep running for the Caper Tiger offense. Here comes a motion across the field. Here comes a jet sweep to the right side. He's going to try and cut back. Has a man downfield. Tries to direct traffic. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. So with the shortage of time here on Lower Cape May's side, they do not have to run a play to end the third quarter. So we'll see what Coach Lance Bailey and crew do. And it looks like they might run this one out to the fourth quarter, and they will indeed do that. So, as we head to the fourth quarter, the final period of play, Gloucester leads Lower Cape May 14-7. That'll be it for me tonight. I'm Chris Baker. I'll hand this one off to Dan Wilkins here for the fourth quarter Could take it home the rest of the way. We're going to head to break here real quick as Gloucester leads Lower Cape May 14-7, headed to the final period of play.
Hey folks, it's good to be back. I'm Dan Wilkins, although I will say being at the production, being at the desk for 2 quarters, definitely a humbling experience. I've only done it a couple of times before, never for football. Big thanks to Chris Baker for coming out tonight. He is an excellent commentator, and he has a very bright future ahead of him, whether it's journalism or whether it's with his voice, as there's a pass dumped off to the left side. Big hit. Number 26 on the completion by Ray. And the first play of the 4th is taken down by Burkhart. Get a hot dog delivered to the booth, folks. What? Okay. Because I went down to the stand and I ran out of cash. So if you have any extras by the end of the night. All right. I appreciate it. So some excellent hospitality here at J.A. Lynch Field. That's why we've covered Gloucester 24 times here on DWB. Lower Cape May punts this one. This will drop at the 20 and roll out. Number 26 chasing that one away. It was going to be returned by Burkhart, but no harm, no foul there, as Gloucester will take over at their own, deep in their own territory, inside the own 20 there. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Dog Wrestling, Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators. They rock Sacred Heart Church on Saturday, September 28th, bell time 7:30. Admission is $20, and you can watch Breaker Morant, reigning champion of the Dog Wrestling organization, along with former WWE tag team specialist Tank Toland and former ECW original Jim Molyneux, all at the Sacred Heart Church, 104 4th Street, Riverton, New Jersey. Saturday, September 28th at 7:30. Gloucester starts deep in their own territory at their own 15. After the punt ran out of bounds, here comes a rush to the left side. No mustard on that one. And it'll be second down here. I mean, definitely, I think that, there's been some crucial mistakes made on both sides, but some key plays, getting the ball downfield. I mean, it seems like we said, Gloucester didn't have a lot to write down about passing in week 0 versus Pennsville. They went 0 for 4 in all attempts with freshman quarterback Kevin Bolden. And now he has really shown he can be a passing quarterback. And that is a tool that he would love to use with guys more than Widman and Burkhart. I mean, those are your 2 weapons. You know, like we talk about teams like Pennsgrove, who had 2,000-yard rushers last year. And one of them being the freshman, Karan Caesar, now a sophomore. But, philosophies change over time. And some teams that can retain the same head coach can change, what their outlook is going to be. If you're going to have a quarterback like Bolden who can accurately, throw the ball deep down the field and catch guys, like Rylan Kafigny, you're going to see a lot more passes attempted if you have that confidence, on the tailwind. Time's going to be called here at 9:43 left in the fourth. And that will be a first down for the Lions. Well, we talked about it with Pennsgrove and Paulsboro on Saturday, and we talked about it with Collingswood and Clayton last week. This is the time of the game where, if you're a standard NFL fan, you might be thinking, well, yeah, you chew down a little bit of time, but think about it this way. In high school, this is the kind of situation where you've got to go at basically a snail's pace. The mistake Pennsgrove made on Saturday that cost them the game was that they were not proactive. They tried to drive the ball down the field, but did so slowly in an effort to waste time and put the pressure on Paulsboro that they couldn't score, and therefore ended up losing the game 12-7. We've got dirty laundry left, right, up, and down, and that will be, looks like, on the Caper Tigers. And it's going to be offsides on the Tigers. So that will knock them back 5 yards, bring them up to 1st and 5 here. But yeah, Collingswood and Clayton, one of the things that won Collingswood the game in that thrilling 30-26 matchup was their final drive of the game, 5 minutes left, or excuse me, they started out with 8 minutes in the fourth. They got 30 yards in 5 minutes, burned down as much clock as they could, and then won the game because they put the pressure on Clayton and they couldn't score in the red zone. They were close, but for a team that views passing as a cardinal sin, like Clayton, they just didn't have the experience. You know, their quarterback, Gabriel Hill, just didn't seem to get the rhythm going in the passing side, and Clayton lost the game because of that. We may see Clayton later on this year in the Thanksgiving game. We covered Pittman-Clayton Thanksgiving last year. Obviously, unfortunately, with the Thanksgiving schedule dwindling year by year, our options are becoming more and more limited, but we are leaving that date open and waiting to see who our suitor will be on Thanksgiving night. Here comes a handoff up the middle, big carry with several men on his back. And Burkhart there, I mean, he had a whole bunch of guys all over him, all over his back, and was able to carry that all the way across the 50 and to the opposing 48 for a Gloucester first down. See, this is one of those things where that's a good play, but you still have 8 minutes left in the half, left in regulation, Rev. You know, what you got to ask yourself here is, you know, how slow do you want to take it? Do you want to try to average like 4 or 5 yards a play? Do you want to rush the whole way down? We are going to have a timeout called by the Caper Tigers, and we will take a quick break as Lower Cape May trails Gloucester 14-7. Gloucester looking to punch their ticket into the end zone and ice this game. Of course, still plenty of ball game left. 7:46 left in the fourth. We'll be right back here on DWB. Coming back here 1st and 10 after the rush by Burkhart. Widman takes the handoff and doesn't get anywhere with that. Snuffed at the line of scrimmage. And it is 2nd down and about 10 or 9. But if Gloucester can inch their way across for a couple of first downs, even if you get into the red zone, honestly, even if you don't score, the goal obviously is to score. You don't need a rocket scientist to tell you that. But what you do need is, you know, time management here. It's what gave Collingswood their Week 0 win on DWB last Friday, and it's what cost Pennsgrove their Week 0 game versus Paulsboro. You have to play your cards right here. You can't be too aggressive because, I mean, I'm not saying if there's a run and you get a 40-yard rushing touchdown, I'm not saying slide at the 1-yard line. Go for it, obviously, and score that touchdown. But keep in mind, you're signing off on the fact that you're going to give Lower Cape May, about 6 minutes and a chunk of change to work with. And after a slow first half, they have gotten better at being proactive on offense. I mean, does that touchdown in the third quarter happen without that unsportsmanlike conduct call by Gloucester? I don't know. I'm not a wizard. But I'll tell you who has been a wizard tonight. Trevin Burkhart rushed for over 100 yards versus Pennsville. He's up over that mark tonight so far. So is Mason Widman. But relatively low-scoring season for Gloucester so far. 14-0 over Pennsville in week 0, and a 14-7 score tonight. Lower Cape May scoring their first touchdown since November 6th, 2023 in the South Jersey Group 2 Consolation Tournament versus Delran, which is now out the window. I'll miss it, but I know teams won't, and that's just because I get to do football on Tuesday nights in November, and I have nothing better to do with my time. Under 6 minutes left now here in the fourth. Here comes the rush by Burkhart. Flags in the backfield. At the line of scrimmage, and a late flag comes in at the end of the play. So we have two separate flags by two different refs. One came in during the play, and then one came in as the whistles were being blown. We'll see what happens here. I mean, one was in the backfield, one was behind the line of scrimmage. Wonder if these are offsetting. I'm not sure. Or if they saw the same thing just at different times. Let's see here. You can have a face mask on Gloucester. And then offsetting penalties. So Lower Cape May and Gloucester trade off penalties. And we'll have a mulligan here. By the way, we are in the first of a 5-game DWB quintuple header. We've got 3 football games this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And on Saturday at 2:30, it's the Fashion Institute of Technology Tigers versus the RCSJ Roadrunners at 2:30 p.m. for a women's soccer match. As we've got a handoff up the middle by Burkhart. On Sunday at 1:30, we've got more RCSJ women's soccer versus Suffolk County Community College and the Sharks. One of the best community college logos I've ever seen. But some of the New York community colleges, like we said, Fashion Institute of Technology, which is an all-women's school for fashion. 2:30 on Saturday, and then Suffolk at 1:30. Suffolk had a 15-win season in 2023 for the Sharks. Handoff up the middle to number 16, Ulmer. And he'll get up to the 25. Ashton Wall. I was one number off. And that'll bring him to under the 5-minute mark and a first down for Gloucester. But this is exactly the direction that they want to go in. They're burning off the clock, taking their time, waltzing through the garden a little bit. And that's what you need here. Even if Gloucester scores, you're probably going to leave 2 or 3 minutes on the clock for Lower Cape May. And if they don't score, you still put the pressure on the Caper Tigers. And you kind of have to force them, to make some deep passes downfield. Now, don't get me wrong. They have had some successful midfield passes. And we do have a Gloucester player down, number 9, for Logan Stewart, the junior. And with 4:15 left in regulation, we're going to take a quick break. Actually, sorry, that is Widman down, not number 9. And now that he is up, we will stay on the air. So, premature call there, but luckily Widman is okay. He's had a couple of hiccups tonight with a couple cramps, and he went down on that last play. Luckily, he is okay. But Gloucester looking to ice the game here as they are on the doorstep of the red zone. They're in the red zone now because they are on the 20. They are right there. Gloucester, obviously, this is a situation where they are in control. They're in the driver's seat. Even if you don't score, you put the pressure on Lower Cape May. And if you do score, you ice the game and you make that possibility of the Caper Tigers evening their record at 1-1 all that more difficult. 4 minutes and counting here in the fourth. Handoff to the left side. Burkhart finds some room, and he's going to get about 8 yards up to the 12. Roughly about 8 yards. And clock's going to stop here at 3:50 as they'll go back into the huddle. Beautiful night here in Gloucester. About 75 degrees. You know, Chris, you might remember the first week of the high school sports season last year. That being kind of a disaster with, we had a game between Northern Burlington and Audubon girls soccer, hottest DWD broadcast ever at 101 degrees Fahrenheit. And the handoff over the middle. No whistles. Now we finally have our whistle. Wall again on the carry there. Interesting to see what they go with here. I mean, obviously, you know, this is the one time of the game where you really want to stall. You're on the 11. You want to get right up to that goal line, shave off as much time as possible. It's kind of like that one Price is Right game with, I don't even know what it's called, the Price is Right game with the yodeling hiker going up the hill. You have to stop at the right time, and if you go over, you lose. And they're not going to lose this play. It's going to be a touchdown. Jason Whitman and Gloucester ever so close to ice in this game and putting it away. However, hold on here. We do have a player down on the Caper Tigers side. So that touchdown will stand, no flags. And it is 20-7. Lions here late in the fourth. Might be another cramp here as they're stretching out a leg, but I mean, just a great game it's been tonight. Gloucester trying to put this one away. Hasn't been easy for them, though. Hasn't been easy for them in either of their games. They go over to Paul Sixth next week on the road. Just a quick bus trip up to the up 130 and back onto Hopkins and Haddonfield. There's a nice crescent moon over us tonight. They've got back-to-back road games, the 13th and 21st, which is a Saturday versus Willingboro. That's interesting. Because Willingboro does have some night games scheduled this year, so they're opting to play on a Saturday, the 21st. They've got 3 straight home games after that, ending September and going into October. Seneca, Shallock, and Haddonfield in the 27th and 11th and 18th, respectively. They closed the regular season away at Pleasantville, and then, of course, the annual Gloucester Catholic Gloucester Thanksgiving tilt on November 28th. So here at the J.A. Lynch Field, almost ready to wrap this one up tonight here on this Thursday evening. And now that the injury timeout has been lifted, we've got 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Ashton Wall, 2 for 2 on PATs tonight, and in fact 4 for 4 on the young campaign as he made 2 versus Pennsville last Thursday in their 14-0 win over the Eagles of Salem County. Here we go. This one is up, away, and right down Broadway. 21-7 as Gloucester is in a much better position here to start the game. And we are almost out of here at J.A. Lynch Field. We'll take a quick break. Gloucester up by 14. 2 minutes and 44 left in regulation as Gloucester now 3 for 3 on PATs from Ashton Wall. A grounder of a kick. This one's going to go all the way out to the 25, get some great speed on it, and he's going to get wrestled away. Whistles are finally blown, and he basically got stopped from wherever he picked the ball up at his own 25. And Lower Cape May needs a miracle in the 11th hour to take this one home. Gloucester would improve their record to 2-0 on the campaign. And I mean, hey, for what it's worth, I'll let you know right now, this is just the second game out of 4 this year to start out with the final score being 2 possessions or more. 3 of our 4 first games in 2023, and in fact, 7 of our first 8 football games in 2023 were all scores of, all deficits of 2 possessions or more. So a very respectable game here at J.A. Lynch tonight. Now roll out to the left. Ray passes it over the middle. It is deflected, or actually not deflected, but over the head of the receiver. Burkhart and Widman there on the coverage. That was just a bit of an overthrow. That'll be 2nd and 10 from the 21. Don't forget our next broadcast is Friday, September 6th for the biggest ticket of the year. It's the Camden Panthers and the Kingsway Dragons from Mullica Hill. 6 o'clock kickoff. There'll be Dan Wilkins and Joe Bryson on the call for that one. And Saturday, September 7th, 10:30, get up bright and early for the Haddonfield Bulldogs and the Woodbury Thundering Herd, our first of 4 games in a partnership with the Thundering Herd and Woodbury City Public Schools this fall. Big thanks to Anthony Browning for having us out here this fall for Woodbury. Handoff by Lower Cape May gets to about the 30. And we got whistles everywhere. Hold on here. Clock's going to stop at 2:23. And not an injury timeout, but a timeout indeed. Looks like Lions call that one. We will stay on the air here. Don't forget, you can always follow us on social media on our Twitter and Instagram at DW Broadcasting, along with our Facebook at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We also have a Venmo if you're interested in contributing to Dan Wilkins Broadcasting and helping keep these broadcasts free and on the air for all viewers, friends, and family who would like to watch their teams when they cannot attend in person. Our Venmo is at DW Broadcasting, no spaces, no hyphens. Of course, it's not required in any way, and heck, it's not even really encouraged. But if you've got some spare funds in your pocket and you want to help out an aspiring sports communications major at Rowan College of South Jersey, and also aspiring commentators and producers throughout the entire state, it is always greatly appreciated. It all goes towards college funds, equipment expenses, and travel costs for some of the games that we have that are a little further out, like October 5th in Manchester Township. But it is always incredibly appreciated, and we are incredibly grateful to have this job. That one's a pass to the right, or rather to the left, wide, intended for number 8 for the Cape Tigers. And it is 4th down and 4 after that incompletion. 2:19. I mean, you got to go for it here, and Gloucester can prepare the victory formation if Lower Cape May turns it over here, or they might get a second one for life. We'll have to see, though. Make or break play here. 2:19, 21-7 in favor of Gloucester, looking for their 2nd straight win at home. Looked like a little movement on the defensive line, but not going to be called. It's going to be tipped and caught to ice the game. Gloucester with an interception batted in the air. They bring it back down, and any doubts are stripped away. The defensive lineman on the interception, number 65, Trevor Butler, the 5'11", 230 junior. He's hyped. And the Lions can get ready to send this one home and send Lower Cape May for a long 90-minute drive back to Cape May County. That's the same way that Haddon Township and Gateway ended earlier today with a 13-7 final score. By the way, late in the fourth quarter, it's Florence 14, Riverside 10. Still got a couple plays to go, though, before they can take the knee. Handoff to Wall. Up the middle for a couple of yards. By the way, Gloucester went undefeated at home last year, and their last home loss was November 11th, 2022, versus Willingboro in a 27 playoff loss. Their last regular season home loss was September 30th, 2022, in a thrilling 43-29 high-scoring gauntlet versus the Woodbury Thundering Herd. That was the year Woodbury went all the way in 2022. So, still a good track record for Gloucester. Already off to a great start. Like we said, they've got 5 home games this year, and we're already 2/5 of the way through. Handoff with the middle. Whole bunch of guys there. Clock's going to stop at 1:21. So Wall again on the carry. The kicker and running back. I mean, hey, props to Ashton Wall. He's been doing some great jobs tonight, and for a younger guy, 3 PATs especially. I mean, this isn't a Group 5 school we're talking about. Not every school employs a kicker. We saw some that had no choice but to go with a PAT, with a 2-pointer, because that's all they had. They didn't have somebody that could stick it through the uprights. So, the fact that Ashton Wall's gone out there and has done a good job tonight. Gloucester will take the knee with 45 seconds left. And that is going to do it tonight. They're going to line up one more time. But the Gloucester Lions still defending their home court for the first time. Like we said, haven't lost a regular season home game since September 30th, 2022. And they've had a very good track record under Rob Bryan, and even with some hiccups in the first half, Gloucester will take this one 21-7, and a traditional final score, and a 2-0 record to start 2024 for the Lions. Lower Cape May falls to 0-2 on the young campaign, falling to Bridgeton in week 0, and falling to Gloucester on the road. They go back home next Thursday for their 3rd straight Thursday night game to play Middle Township at 7 o'clock. Like we said, our next broadcast will be Friday. So, definitely a big matchup for Lower Cape May next week, and we'll see. I mean, for Cape Atlantic League action and for the WJFL in general, might be a big matchup between 2 big rivals in Middle Township, crosstown rivals in Middle Township and Lower Cape May. Going to be interesting, but there you go. So, I mean, this has been an impressive start to the season for Gloucester. I mean, Pennsville and Lower Cape May aren't exactly pushovers. No matter who you are, an 8-2 record last year for Lower Cape May. Not exactly reflecting the same way in 2024. Obviously lost a lot of big key pieces. One of their star backs transferred over to Pleasantville, and things might be a little different for them this year and for Lance Bailey, but a very impressive win nonetheless for the Lions. They improved to 2-0. And our next broadcast will be Friday, September 6th at 6 o'clock between the Camden Panthers and the Kingsway Dragons from Mullica Hill. And then back in action on Saturday, September 7th, between the Haddonfield Bulldogs and the Woodbury Thundering Herd here on DWB at 10:30 a.m. is the start time. That'll be all for us tonight. From everybody here at DWB, our social media coordinators, Brandon the Kegerland and Keely Curran, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Nelson Reeves, my producer and color commentator tonight, and also the lead commentator in the second and third quarter, Chris Baker. I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you for the big guns in Mullica Hill tomorrow night, Camden and Kingsway. Have a good one, folks. Gloucester wins this one 21-7, and they still are undefeated at home.